idea and create your own, use my Homeschool Villages membership and go in there and you build that plate from our buffet of food, right? Like you go in and build what he needs. School has to meet their requirements, not your child's. And that's the biggest problem with it. In homeschooling, you find out what your child's needs are and you meet those. You're not meeting, you don't have to worry about state requirements. I mean, yeah, there are some. I'll show you how to work around those. But it's about finding your child's needs and meeting child. We teach children, not subjects. I don't teach math. I teach a child how to use math. I don't teach English. I teach my children how to properly use English. I don't teach my children how to read. I teach them the love of reading and why they will want to read, and they do the rest themselves. So at home, we teach our children why they need something, the love of something, the purpose in it, and they teach themselves the skills. And that's really the beauty of it all. Does that help? I hope that helps. Hi, Shelly's Adventures. Welcome. Welcome to my homeschool village, guys. I'm just in here helping you with your homeschool woes or even education woes. But I've been doing this so long. I have seen just about everything. And I'm constantly talking to people about education and what's going on. He wants to code, so this will be great. Yes. How old is he, by the way? If he wants computer skills, we even have programs inside my homeschool village. So you pay the 1 monthly price and you get coding, you get video, you get gaming. By the way, we even have he's 11, same age as my child. Okay, I have a son the same age as 11. We even have a Minecraft group. So inside my homeschool village, we even have kids. We've created Minecraft groups with Discord according to age, and they're in there playing together and they're building literally a homeschool village together. It's really fun. We have a lot of meetup stuff for our kids. But if he's 11, he needs to get in there and play with these other kids, and they're making friends and they're meeting up. It's really fun. We also have we just got over our summer camp where they were meeting weekly and doing little summer camp things. We'll be doing some book clubs coming up by grades. So that's all part of my Homeschool Villages membership. So make sure you go check that out. But if that's what he wants to do, he's going to love what we've got. And I can say that honestly because my 11-year-old son loves my Homeschool Villages program. He's happier now than he's ever been homeschooling because it's only been a year or so since we started this, and my homeschooling has been so easy this year. I almost feel guilty. Almost. Thank you for this. Has been super helpful. I've been thinking about homeschooling. Oh, I'm glad I could help. What is it that keeps you from wanting to? Dream Paper Studios. I love your name. I'm assuming that means you have a business that I want to check out now. What are you thinking? What is it that's keeping you from homeschooling? Maybe I can help you get some doubts or some fears out of your head. When we start homeschooling, all of us are scared to death. We're going to fail our kids. We're afraid they're going to miss out on all the fun at school, which is interesting because most of my children's friends who public school are jealous of the fun my children have. And they'll say, man, I wish I had your life. And it's not like we're doing anything special. It's just that they have freedom and they don't have the social pressures. And my kids miss out on a lot of public school. Social pressure, bullying, drugs, alcohol, stress. They miss out on a lot. And I am so glad. I'm really glad. They're happy kids. And it's because they're home with mom and dad. So, and honestly, it's not like we're home all the time. We go out and do. My husband luckily works from home now. He didn't always, but he does now. And so do I. And so we all work in the morning, then we go play in the afternoon. It's a great life. And I really just want to share that with more people. The initial homeschooling jump is scary. You're jumping off a cliff. But then you join my homeschool village. We build your parachute and a nice trampoline at the bottom. And oh, by the way, there's a party at the bottom. We're going to show you how to have fun. So homeschooling is a true joy. You will never, ever regret homeschooling, but you will regret not homeschooling. I've never met a mother who homeschooled who regretted it. I've met a lot of mothers who wished they had homeschooled. They believe it would have saved their kids. So just take that into consideration. But let me know. I'm happy to help you with any doubts you have as you're homeschooling your kids, or wanting to homeschool. There are a million questions out there. What about social? Well, my kids are more socially prepared for the world than many of their cousins because they're out and about with all ages all the time. Hi, Brandy. I just feel like I might be overwhelmed because I have a 4-year-old twins and a 7-year-old. Okay, and that's fair. But remember, when you're homeschooling, you're not doing 6 hours. You're doing 1 for a 7-year-old. Okay, a 4-year-old needs 30 minutes of actual education time where you're talking about letters and numbers and songs, and we have all that already for you. A 7-year-old needs less than an hour. You're literally reading, writing, and math in an hour, and everything else is through play and experience and just seeing the world. So it's actually not as hard as it sounds. Okay, I got the tabs open and browsing now. Thank you. You're so welcome. Let me know if you need any help with that. We have people all the time willing. Make sure you go into the village and introduce yourself. We've got some amazing women in there who are constantly helping and guiding and directing. And we have videos on just about everything that you're confused on. Make sure you do go into courses. Oh, thanks, Heidi. That's sweet. Go into courses and check your, and there is a whole course on how to homeschool. Totally free. So go in there and check that out. Thank you for the flowers. That's sweet. I always like those. It makes me feel good. It makes me think, okay, stay here. You're helping people. That's what I want to do. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I started homeschooling, I was so scared. And I just thought, I don't know if I can do this. I was so overwhelmed. And this dear woman who lived around the corner from me found out we were going to homeschool, got all excited. Her youngest was the same as my oldest, same age. And she was like, I've been homeschooling for 15 years. Let me help you. She had teenagers at the time. She took me by the hand and showed me how much fun homeschooling would be. And on the days where I was like, I can't do it anymore, she would be like, bring me your kids, go play. Go have a day off. And I would. And some days she'd bring her kids to me and it would keep my kids busy. And we became best friends. I got to see her again. I haven't seen her in 10 years. I got to see her just a couple weeks ago. It was so amazing. But having someone to be able to go to and say, I'm having a rough day. How do I get through this? Is what gets you through this. And that's what my homeschool village is. We are an entire group of thousands of women, and we're in there lifting each other up and holding each other accountable and getting each other through the teary days. Some women will sometimes get on there and be like, guys, I'm in tears. I screwed this up. This happened. My husband and I are fighting. We don't know what, and another mom will come along and be like, I'm so sorry. Here's what we did when we got there. You find out that you're not alone. There's thousands of us, and we're all dealing with marriages, whether broken or not, happy marriages, broken marriages, single moms. We're dealing with working, we're dealing with illnesses, we're dealing with all kinds of stuff. And inside, we are helping each other get through those days. How do you deal with constantly being criticized by family and friends for homeschooling? I have a good cry and I walk away. I've been doing it long enough now that I don't care, because I've seen the results of my own children and I'm like, whatever. In the beginning, I had a lot of tears. I had one sister who stopped talking to me for 10 years because she thought that I was that homeschooling was equal to abuse and she wouldn't have anything to do with it. She wrote me off. That was painful. But you know what? My kids were more important than she was. And that's the bottom line. So did I have to sacrifice family relationships for it? Yeah. Did I have to give up friends because they didn't support me? Yes. The bottom line is your kids are more important. So what it does is it makes you stand your ground. It makes you go, you know what? I'm sorry you don't support me on this. That just shows me that we're not friends. You're not here for me. A true friend, a true family member should support you in your decisions, no matter what those are. And if they don't, you need to find yourself another group, including family. I've had there are still some family members that still are anti-homeschooling. We just don't even talk about it. I think what they're doing to their kids is horrible. I think they think what I'm doing is horrible. We've decided to love each other regardless and not talk about it. And that's okay. I'm so worried about my grandson being in public school due to having cerebral palsy. Ooh. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that, Chris. Or Pris. Because you do. Being a homeschool mom will give you a hard shell. It will teach you to brush the world off and move on. Homeschool families ignore the world. After a while, you start to realize, and this is actually one of the benefits of it. Eventually, the world's voice gets quieter and quieter, and you stop caring what the world thinks, and you start to really focus in on your family and what your family thinks and who your family's becoming. And then you get centered, and you start to find out that the world's opinions don't matter. And there's a confidence that comes with that, both in mom and dad, as well as the children. And it's part of the confidence you're building in your kids. Stand up for what you believe, ignore the rest. And that's a really important lesson you're teaching your kids. So as far as your grandson, Heidi, Are you able to help with the homeschooling, or is there something you can do to help there? I mean, I public school's hard anyway, but then you add in an illness to a child. I can't imagine how tough that is. What if you can't afford to pay the monthly fee? Well, that's a good question. I don't know if you saw, it is $97 a month per kid. What if you can't afford the monthly fee? That's a good question, because we are trying to make this as affordable as possible, and that breaks my heart. It's $97 a month. If you pay for the year in advance, you get a free Chromebook and 2 months free. If you can do it on like a credit card and then do it that way, you can do it through Klarna, pay the full year, do it through, we have like payment plans on there. We are working on a scholarship program. It's not put together totally yet. Oh my gosh, this dog. Woo! We do have, so there are programs out there. Go look at the homeschool roadmap. Here's another option for you. And this is for all homeschooling. I don't know what state you're in, but go get the homeschool roadmap. It's free. Click the link, homeschool roadmap. In there is a list of financial institutions that help with homeschooling. They're called third-party providers, and what they do is they tap into government money for you to get financing, and they help pay for it. So there have been a lot of years where we've used those types of programs to get those, and we currently are with several of them that will pay for a program because it's a great educational program. We're not with every company, but we're happy to get with a company. So if you have a company in your state that you want to pay for our program, you just connect the two of us and we'll work it out. So there are some really great resources out there for homeschooling financial help. And you know what? I homeschooled for free for years. I just used the library. I didn't even have a computer at the time. We were pretty poverty, and I didn't even know how to use a computer, so why bother? And I did a lot of library, Khan Academy, lots of free stuff for a long time. I just got innovative, and we created a lot of stuff. A lot of the things we've created are actually inside the program now. Heather, I'm part owner of my homeschool village, and the other half of my homeschool village is also a homeschool mom of 20 years. And the two of us did a lot for free for a lot of years because there were no resources. So we created our own resources, and now they're all inside the village. Do most homeschoolers share books and supplies? Often. Yeah, we do a lot of trades. You can, if you're on Facebook, in Facebook groups for homeschoolers, you'll find a lot of times people will do like homeschool trades, and all the homeschool families get together and lay out their stuff and trade for it. So it's a great way to do it. There's a lot of homeschoolers that'll resell curriculums online, Amazon, eBay, Facebook, that kind of stuff. But there's a lot you can do on your own, especially depending on their ages. When they're little, they don't need much. Reading, writing, math, you can do that. So yeah, I love my Homeschool Villages program, and we use that now. If you can't afford it, don't not homeschool. Still homeschool. Just use your libraries. Go check out books. It requires a little more work. What they say is, what is it? It's money or time. If you either have money and you can use someone else's time, or you have time but no money. And so if you have time but no money, just use your libraries. Use YouTube. Use Khan Academy. There's a lot of free resources out there that a lot of us have been using for a long time. Now, I personally now prefer what we have because it's created so my children can just do more without me, which is really what I like. My grandson is 4 now. How soon should you start? Honestly, not yet. Obviously teach. That's what we do as grandmas, right? But at 4 years old, he doesn't even legally have to be educated till the age of 6 in, I think, all but like one state, or even all states. And then most boys specifically don't usually read till 7 to 8. Now, a child who starts, most children under the age of 8 really just need to learn social skills, who they are, their space, ethics, morals, who they are in relativity to the world and around them, how to treat people. Those are the main lessons before the age of 8. Actual how to read, how to write, how to do math doesn't need to start till the age of 8. Most of what the public school system teaches in those 12 years can be taught in 4. Guys, literally. Like the 12 years that we put our children in a public school system, everything they learn can be taught in 4 years, from the ages of 10 to like 13, 14, depending on the child, of course, but generally can be taught in those years. So the longer you wait, oddly, the faster they'll go. Don't push it too soon. You'll take the joy of learning right out of them. Hi, Becca Christensen. Come on in. So yeah, we're talking about homeschooling today and different ways to do it. There is a book called The Thomas Jefferson Education. Highly recommend that book. It explains why children under 8 really should not be having formal learning. It explains that a child between the ages of 8 and 12 it's about the love of learning what they love, who they are. And then at 12 and up, they know what they love, they know who they are, and they dive into really deep education because they love it. And it's a beautiful book. It talks to you and shows you all of that. So it's called Thomas Jefferson Education. Brilliant book. Highly recommend to all new homeschoolers. I didn't read it until 10 years in, and I wish I'd read it sooner. But yeah, they have phases, and I can't remember what they call them. I know the scholar phase is the older phase, when children are really wanting to do all the learning. He has a learning disability due to hydrocephalus at birth, so it takes a little while to absorb. Well, especially at 4. So honestly, give that boy all the time he needs. He does not need to read until he wants to read. Now, if he's 10 and still not reading, I would definitely have him tested, make sure he has everything he needs. If he's 16 and not reading, you have a problem. But a child at 4, 2 of my 5 children didn't even read till 8 to 10 because they didn't care. Not because they couldn't, but because they really weren't interested. They were mechanical minded. They would take apart a car and put it back together, but they wouldn't read a book. So you've really got to go according to the child, especially a 4-year-old boy. Yep, just play. The play that they're doing, they're learning more in play than they could ever learn with you trying to put information into their heads. They're observing, they're problem solving, they're understanding, they're making conclusions in their own heads, and we can't see the work, but that playtime is serious work for a kid. Serious work. So make sure he's getting that time. Yeah. And a child who has enough playtime in their early years will need less playtime as a young adult. Young adults right now in this world who are needing this playtime in their college years is because they didn't get playtime in their early years. There is a part of the brain that must play. It must play. There's a development that happens. And by putting our children in education early, we're removing play from them, and it's making them need it later on in life. But homeschooled children who've been homeschooled their whole lives and had plenty of playtime in the beginning are ready to adult when it's time to adult because they had their playtime. I'm so glad to hear playtime is also learning time. Yes, it's also learning time. It's vital to the brain. And it's interesting, I actually learned this the hard way. So I did let my kids play a lot when they were little because I just loved watching them play. I didn't want to take that beautiful light out of their eyes. And so I would watch them, and they were absorbing so much that we did a lot of playtime. And then I have my oldest daughter at 17 came to me and said, Mom, I'm kind of ready to grow up. Can I go to college? And my heart jumped. I thought, wait, no, I get one more year with you. You can't start early. But no, she was ready. And so she told me, she said, Mom, look, I said, don't you want to play? You're a young adult. She goes, Mom, I've been playing my whole life. I want to grow up. I want to be an adult. That's my next level of play. I said, okay. And she did. She started college early. What's interesting is so did my second and third children, because they said the same thing. Mom, I played my whole life. I'm ready to grow up now. May I grow up now? I was like, okay, I guess so. Hi, Callisto. I love play-based learning and child-led world. Yes, I'm curious, though, about resources and materials. You know what? All you need is a pile of mud and a shovel. Not even a shovel, a spoon. My kids were so creative. They would paint on the walls with water outside. You don't even need resources and materials. Just let them create them, and you'd be amazed how much more creative they are. Public school kids don't play? ? Parents, when get home, don't play with them on weekends. A lot of them are public schools do not play. They used to, when I was in kindergarten, it was all about playtime, and they had long recesses. Now they have very short recesses, and if at all. And parents, when they get home, generally the kids are doing homework, and the parents are exhausted from a long day, and weekends are about getting the jobs done. I don't know a lot of kids who know how to play anymore, unless they're homeschooled and have the time. How to pull out the child from school? Do you need to write a letter to them? If so, inside my, go click on my link. There's a roadmap there, and it will show you, because it depends on your state. It also depends on your district. Don't go to the school. You don't answer to the school, you answer to the district. So the district needs a letter. You can either walk into your district building and say, I need a homeschool, what do I sign? Or you can go on their website, usually, and type in homeschool or homeschool form, something like that. They have something like that you fill out, send in, you're done. That's how most states behave, most districts. Do not do this. The school doesn't know what they're talking about. I've never met a school who really understood how to pull a kid out. Go to your district. That's the level it happens at. Make sure you check our Homeschool Village roadmap, because on there it will give you the links you need to check out your state's legalities. And it will, oh, you're in California. Okay. But go to your district, go to your district website and put in their intent to enroll, or intent to homeschool. They should have some form there that you fill out. Every district is different. And then you can learn the laws and rules and all of that. Lots of kids play. Some parents should not homeschool. OMG. I'm sure there's plenty of people that should not homeschool. There's also plenty of people that should not, do all kinds of things. But I don't believe that all people should homeschool. If you're not going to really put time into your kids, don't bring them home. If you're just going to bring them home to be left alone and abandoned, you're right. You shouldn't homeschool. But yeah, you should, if you're going to, good parents should homeschool. Bad parents shouldn't have had kids in the first place. And yeah, play is not the same. Pebbles, you obviously don't understand. Play from a homeschooler with a day to be in the trees without time restraints and without people telling you how to play and what to play is a beautiful thing. And I'm sorry that you didn't get that opportunity. Lisa Lupu, hello, welcome, come on in. So yeah, you're welcome, Heidi. Let me know how else I can help you as your homeschooling grandchild. I'm a grandma now too. I'm so excited to start helping with his homeschooling journey. My daughter has said that she will be homeschooling, and I really hope I get a grandma day where I can teach some of the subjects. That's a love. That's a dream I have. Lisa, welcome. Okay, how can I help you more in your homeschooling journeys today? It's almost 11 o'clock. I got a few more minutes. And then I'm going to have to move on. Sorry, I forgot my glasses, so I'm squinting quite a bit at the screen to read your questions as I move along. Okay, homeschooling. So pulling out your kids, make sure you get the homeschool roadmap. Totally free. And then when you get it, you can also, oh, hi, Lisa. Grandmas have all kinds of goals. I know. And we're never going to meet them all, are we? But we can dream. But yeah, make sure you get the homeschool roadmap. Make sure that you're going in there. It gives you the first 7 steps to homeschooling, how to pull your children out, how to discover their learning styles, what to do the first few weeks to get set up. It gives you the curriculum that we use, veteran homeschoolers are using. There are a million curriculums out there, you guys. And there's every style, shape, form, price. What you want to look for is a curriculum that supports your lifestyle as a family. If you are moving your life around a curriculum, it's the wrong curriculum. If you're having to take a loan out for curriculum, it's the wrong curriculum. Curriculum should support your life. It should support your interests. It should support who you are, and it should be able to customize per child. Okay. How old do you start your kids? Is too young. So it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about teaching children's natural. That's what we do, right? You just follow along. They'll tell you what they want to learn. They'll ask questions, and you'll just do what they are interested in, and it'll go naturally. If you're talking about actually sitting down and teaching them to read and write, don't do it till they're 6 to 8. It depends on the child. Some children are ready at 6. Some children aren't ready till 8. But the early years of learning are for ethics, morals, how to treat others, how to treat yourself, who you are as a person. little things, how to use your hands, how to control your emotions. That's where your children should be under the age of 6 to 8, not worrying about reading and writing. However, if a child is interested in reading, some children are interested in reading at 4, great, do it. But if you have to push your child into wanting to learn something, it's too early. Every child will want to learn if it's applicable in their current life. So if your 2-year-old needs to read to get through the day, sure. But if she doesn't need to read to get through the day, wait till she does and then teach it, and she'll get it faster and enjoy it more. So that is really like the number one rule to homeschooling. Don't try to teach the concept until they can apply it in their lives. Once they can apply it in their lives, they'll learn it like that. But if you try to teach it too soon, you got a battle on your hands. And then everybody's fighting. And really, homeschooling is about the relationship, not about the education. It's not about academics. Homeschooling is not about academics. It's about the relationship between parent and child, and the relationship between child and their brain. Who are they? What are their talents? What are their gifts? It's creating confidence. It's creating ability. It's creating decision-making. It's helping them truly function in life. Not just function, but thrive. I don't want my kids to just get by in life. I want them to thrive. I want them to be so happy that other people are happy for being around them. I want them to be so whole that they can help other people heal. You're welcome. I hope that helps. Good. You know what I found is most parents know. I think you already knew the answer to that. Something tells me there's some neighbor nearby that's putting their child into preschool at 2 so that they can get ahead in life. That's the wrong way to do it. And the world thinks it's the right way. I'm here to tell you, no, follow your mama gut. The mother's inspiration is the purest inspiration on the earth, in my opinion. A mother's inspiration for her children, God speaks directly to women for their children. And he speaks clearly and loudly. He speaks quietly when it's me and I need an answer, but he is loud and clear when it comes to what my children need. Trust your mother gut. That's what I like to call it. The inspiration from God to a mother for her children is the purest form of inspiration on the earth. Trust it. And the more you trust it, the clearer it will get. And the clearer it gets, the easier it all becomes. I hope that helps too. Hi, Tabitha. Hello, Fancy Fits. I hope that helps. A lot of people go off when I start talking about God, guys. That's fine. You may go if you don't like me talking about spiritual things, but that's who I am. I am a God lover. I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. I teach my children that they are children of God and they have a purpose on this earth. I think that that's vital to their well-being and who they are. My husband has been getting after me about my 6-year-old boy not reading when his cousin 6 months older is. Oh, the comparison. Yes. And you know what? That's unfair. What you tell your husband is, honey, I'm not raising their 6-year-old. I'm raising ours. And ours has different needs. And I'm going to follow his needs. You don't get to compare your kids to other kids, guys. That's so unfair. The comparison game is something that you do eventually learn to get out of as a homeschooler. The world will always be comparing your kid to somebody else's kid. And you know what? I don't compare my mothering to another mother anymore because I'm a different mom. I was born to raise these 5 children in my way. If I was supposed to be the other kid's mother, the Lord would have given me those kids. But I'm not. So who am I to judge what they're doing with their kids? So tell your husband to stop comparing your children and let your child be who he is, because the world is not about comparison. It's about discovering who we are as individuals. I don't know if that helps. That's just me on my soapbox, but woo, sun came out finally. We haven't seen the sun in days. Yeah, I hope so. Something tells me you kind of want to tell your husband, stop comparing our children, and you're right. You're right. No mom wants her child compared to another child, especially by her husband. So tell him to be nice and stop it. How's that? Hi, Sassy Chaos. Yeah, you tell him, and you know, there have been times in my life where I have told my husband, because he would do the comparison thing and he's worried that my kids are getting behind. And I have had to occasionally say, I'm the mother. I get the right. You have inspiration over providing for a family. I have inspiration over providing for our children's emotional, spiritual, and educational needs. You need to trust me on that. And he would go, okay. And now that we have been doing this for a long time, he said, Yeah, I'm glad you knew what you were doing. And I was like, yeah, I really didn't. I was just guessing, but luckily he did support that. The Funky Bunch says, Lisa, my son didn't read until 8, and now he's above average. 6 is still so little. Amen to that. Thank you. Yep. What I had one child started at 4, another child started at 10, another one at 8, another one at 6. Like, every child needs to learn to read when they're ready. Yep. You remember me saying this before? Yep. I was listening to a podcast the other day from Read Aloud Revival, and that helped a lot. Read Aloud Revival. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to check that one out. Hi, Becky Blevins. Welcome. Come on in. Sean. Oh, hi, Sean Homeschool Mom. How you doing, look, girl? I'm glad I stuck around. School is so worried. My daughter is reading second grade level. Where is she? How old is she? She must be an older level if you're worried about it.